Hey, it's Sandra. Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise My Asexual Life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity. Beautiful book here. And it's basically a series of questions and answers in which I ask everything you could possibly think of asexuals to do with love, life and sex. It's a really interesting read. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Welcome to this episode. And don't forget, as always, if you're enjoying the content, to click the like button, the thumbs up button down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. So welcome to tonight's show. And today I want to talk to you about what is asexual denial. This is something that I don't see covered on other channels. I haven't come across a video titled this yet, but I haven't seen every single asexual video out there. I know there's tons of them. So this might be something you've never heard of before and it's not talked about. And on this channel, I do talk a lot about asexual scammers. You know, the guys or girls that come along, they say they're asexual. They don't really understand what asexual means. Sometimes they think asexual means they're an asexual person. I understand some of the confusion, obviously, for heterosexuals if they've never heard of the word asexual before. But there are people out there that actually scam. You know, they pretend to be asexual when they're not. You know, they're just doing it, you know, to follow the crowd or because they want to get asexual into a relationship under false pretenses. So, you know, the people that are genuinely confused and don't understand what asexuality is, no one's explained it to them. They think asexual means a sexual person. You can kind of like have a bit of sort of sympathy for those people. But the people that are just know what asexuality is and still pretend they're they pretend they're asexual, it's just not, you know, not very good. So I speak a lot about asexual scammers, people that are not really asexual, people that are not honest about the fact they're not asexual on this channel. But what does asexual denial mean? Asexual denial is the opposite of that, in effect, because it's basically a person who is actually asexual, but they're in denial about it to themselves and to the world, because they don't want people to know they're asexual, because they're worried about what people will think of them, and they don't want to accept it themselves, because if they accept it themselves, some of them feel like they're a freak, some of them feel like it's not natural, some of them feel like there's something wrong with them. And I've come across people that have been in denial and then months or later actually come to terms with the fact they're asexual and they're okay, and they actually really love it when they realize that asexual is great, that you can meet other asexuals online that understand you, that get your mindset, that understand your attitudes and beliefs. And once they find themselves, they find like-minded people and they can connect with them online through asexual meetups in person. And it's very empowering, and it completely changes their life in a positive way, usually, if they really accept their asexuality. But there are people, like I said, who are in denial. They don't experience any sexual attraction whatsoever. They have no interest in engaging sexual activities. They're just not interested in sex. Yet these people who, by definition, have no sexual attraction and have no interest in sexual activities whatsoever are asexual, but they're in denial because they don't want to be different. They don't, like I said, they don't want to be seen as an outsider in the world. They can't handle it. And, you know, if those people are out there right now and they're really freaking out and worried because they know deep in their soul and their heart they are asexual, because, you know, it resonates with them. Like if something I say resonates with you and it resonates on a core deep level, it continues to resonate. And all the stuff I say about not liking sex, not interested in sex, not getting the need, urge or want for it, if it resonates with you constantly, time and time again, you know, you just need to think about it for yourself and think, am I actually asexual? And just denying it. And I think it's quite sad when people deny it for a long period of time, because it's starving you of the opportunity to meet people, more people that are just like you, more people that are different to the rest of the world. The fact is, asexuals aren't broken. The fact is, we don't have some disease. The fact is, we're not a freak, as in the sense there's anything fundamentally wrong with us. We're just different, and that's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay not to want sex. It's okay not to feel sexual attraction to anyone. It's okay not to get the need, urge, or want for partnered sexual intercourse. All that's okay. If you're thinking, yeah, but I'm not interested in having sex with anyone, but I still masturbate, that's fine. If the definition basically is you haven't got sexual attraction and you have little to no interest in sexual activities with another person. That's what sexual attraction is, because you're being attracted to someone else. So if you still masturbate and like to touch your own body and care for it, that's fine. Doesn't stop you being asexual. Just because you like touching your own body, that's yourself. Asexuality is the absence of sexual attraction towards other people. And I just wanted to reach out because there are a few people that I've come across that are like that. And years ago, before I realised I was asexual in 2014, there was in fact a blogger who did a blog, and he was in a band actually, and then he changed all of a sudden to having like a blog about sex education, but it was informative. It wasn't creepy or sleazy or horrid. It was a really, really good video. Sorry, it was a really, really good blog. I'm thinking about YouTube video here. And it was just an incredible blog, and it was very, very educational. It was done in a really nice way, And he actually said in a comment to my comment that he thought I was asexual. And so even back then, years ago, before 2014, I don't know how many years before, could have been 2, could have been 4 years, he suggested that I was asexual. And I didn't even look up the term then. I just saw the word asexual and I thought, oh, it's got sexual in the title. And I just said to him, I love kissing, but I just don't want the sex. That's all. And because I didn't realise what asexuality was, I never looked it up back then. But just imagine if I had looked it up back then. Imagine if I'd actually gone to the definition and explored the terms and not freaked out about the word. Then I would have been in a much better position years ago going forward to look for more healthy relationships for me that were more in keeping with my mindset, my attitudes and beliefs, But I wasn't, I was completely shocked by the word asexual years ago. I never even looked it up. I just said I'm kissing, but I don't like sex. And I just thought that's perfectly normal because it's normal for me. And I also said I don't associate sex with love, because I really, really don't. I don't associate sex with love whatsoever. To me, they're two completely different things. Sex is a physical activity that some people who love each other choose to do or not do as one form of expression of love as they see it, that they can do or not do. But I don't believe that every person who loves needs to have sex to prove it. In fact, the opposite. I don't believe love and sex are the same thing at all. They're completely different. Love is felt in the heart. Love is felt in the soul. It's felt in every cell of your body. It's the way you feel about the person, the way you think about the person, your attitude towards them, and the fact you want to share and grow and spend the rest of your life together and grow together and be together. Sex is just something that some people in relationships do, quite a lot of people, because they're heterosexual, so they experience the sexual attraction. But, if you're watching this video now and you don't experience any sexual attraction whatsoever, you haven't got any interest in sexual activities, yet you don't even class yourself as asexual, why not? Why don't you class yourself as asexual? Because likely you could be in denial. If you literally have no sexual attraction towards anyone, you don't get the need, urge, or want to have sex with anyone around you. Doesn't matter who comes into your life. You might think, oh, they're pretty looking or they're handsome looking and stuff like that. But if you don't get the knee-jerk you want at all ever to have sex with someone, then by definition, you're asexual. And I know there's a few minority of people out there that they don't want to admit it to themselves, because once they admit it to themselves, there's all these unknowns and uncertainties like, oh my goodness me, then do I have to admit it to my family? Do I have to tell my friends? You know, what will people think of me? And by denying it to themselves, they're able to deny it to other people, which means that they don't feel bad or guilty and they're not lying, but they're just keeping themselves from themselves. All you're doing is keeping yourself from yourself. If that's truly who you are, it is who you are. And you need to stop denying it to yourself, because there's a load of people out there, asexuals, that will understand you, that will have similar beliefs and values and attitudes towards you, that you can form whole new friendships with a ton of these people. And you can actually be comfortable and confident in your own skin that you don't like sex. You can get the confidence and grow in confidence. That's what people do at my meetups. They grow in confidence more and more when they hear other people sat around the table openly saying, I don't like sex, you know? I'm not interested in it. I feel better being out that I'm asexual. When you hear words like that and all the people around you are supportive, it kind of like dispels all the problems and issues, and you know, it dispels all the problems in your mind of what if I come out, you know. And I just want to make this video because there are people that are in denial about being asexual, just like there are asexual scammers and people that are over the top pretending to be asexual when really they're not. They're also the opposite of people who really are asexual but don't want to admit it to themselves. Because they've admitted to themselves, if they don't admit it to other people, technically they're like lying or keeping secrets, aren't they? And they don't want to be like that. So they don't want to admit it to themselves. But the sooner you admit it to yourself, the sooner you can actually start living your life as truly you, authentic you. I have to let you know that, you know, like your family and stuff, they won't be around forever, right? But you will always be around. You have to live with yourself from the moment you're born to the moment you die, just yourself. Therefore, you need to be true and authentic to who you are, completely and utterly, from beginning to end. Because sadly, you know, like friends, family won't necessarily always be around, you know? Oh, excuse me. I'm fortunate that my parents are supportive as much as they can be, you know, but not everyone's parents are supportive. But, you know, you have to be true to who you are. You have to live, you have to live your life for you. I went out last night, my throat's a bit sore. You know, so if you're sat there, look, you know, go to asexuality.org, go to Avenwiki, AVENWIKI. That lists all the asexual, well, it lists a lot of the asexual terms and definitions, and you can start reading up about it, you know, and see if it does fit you, instead of just sitting there going, oh, not me, not me, not me, you know. Because if what I say to you time and time again resonates and you keep thinking, oh yeah, I'm like that, I agree with that, I think that, I do that, then it's likely you are, if you're similar to me, it's likely you are asexual. If you're similar in thoughts and beliefs and you don't experience sexual attraction, you don't look at anyone and want sex with them, then it's likely you are asexual, you know? So just check it out. Please don't be in denial of yourself any longer. You know, like I said years ago when I saw that blog, I didn't even look it up. But it's really important you do look it up and explore it. You know, if you decide you're not asexual, then at least you've explored it. Yeah, you're not denying it anymore. You're not denying yourself the privilege of actually looking and exploring it. You're actually, you know, tackled the situation head on. You've faced your fear and think, well, maybe I am asexual. You've looked at it, looked at the descriptions, and then you can see whether they actually fit you or don't fit you. You know, rather than just keep saying, no, 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 it's not me. You know, that's not going to get you anywhere in life. If you're denying something that actually is who you are. You know, there's nothing wrong with being asexual. There's no, you know, like I'm asexual, I'm not lesbian, I'm asexual, I'm still attracted to guys, just romantically. You know, there are asexual lesbians as well. There are asexual biromantics as well, you know. People that say asexual lesbian, someone that's not sexually attracted to anyone, but they are attracted to this, you know, women. You know, there are women attracted to women. You know, you can get homo-romantic guys that are attracted romantically to other guys. So gay asexuals, if you like. So you can still get loads of varieties. But I'm a heteromantic. I'm hetero attracted to guys romantically, you know? There's nothing wrong in that. You know, I in some ways it would have been good if years ago I had looked up asexual when I sought the word. But I didn't. It freaked me out. So that's why I did this video, because I know even the word freaked me out, you know? And I'm being honest about that, you know? But in 2014, it was because I Googled after the counsellor told me I had to have sex in order to keep a good guy, which was horrendous information to say to me. You know, when I'd gone there specifically to say I've got a problem, I don't want sex in a relationship, I Googled, I love kissing but not sex. And that's when I found asexuality. And that was because, I guess that was because I was ready for that. I was ready for that in my life. And maybe you're not ready yet, you know, but when are you going to be ready? You know, when are you going to actually accept that you are asexual? Just look into it. Even if it's scary, even if you're fearful, you know, if you have any inkling whatsoever that you don't want sex with other people, not sexually attracted, don't ever look at someone and think you want sex. You know, just go and look up asexuality for you. Just go and do it, you know, and thoroughly explore it. You know, there's nothing freaky about being asexual. There's nothing wrong about being asexual. In fact, there's a lot right with it. You know, no one pops out the womb and thinks, hey, I want sex. Do you know what I mean? And starts lusting after everyone. So technically speaking, you know, every person could be born asexual. They get to the hormone stage and then they change to the majority to heterosexual. Do you know what I'm saying? No one pops out the womb going, oh, give me sex now. They don't do that. No one pops out the womb going, oh, I fancy him or her. Let's have sex now. They don't, you know? And to think they do is just ridiculous. And a lot of society conditions us to believe that we've all got to be heterosexual and have sex as part of a loving, happy, healthy relationship, which just simply isn't the case. Yes, if you're heterosexual who loves sex, you know, if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't want sex, then if you're heterosexual and you really love that, you shouldn't be in with a person that doesn't want sex, because obviously the person who doesn't want sex can't fulfill that need in you. Similarly, a person who's asexual, who hates sex, if you're with a person who needs that from you, you can't give it to them, or it's uncomfortable, you don't want to, then that person's wrong for you, however much you like them. You know, sex is only good if it's if it's healthy for both of people having it, and it's consensual, and both people want it and really like it. You know, if an asexual person doesn't like sex, there's no way that being in a relationship and having sex is a healthy thing for them. It's not. It's a very torturous thing. You know, it's a very, you know, it's a form of self-abuse if you're letting someone do that to your body when you don't want to. I'm talking about sex repulsed asexuals here, or asexuals that don't like sex, right? You know, there's some asexuals that will have sex, you know, but even in my experience, even the ones that will have sex will not want it as much as a person who's, for example, a heterosexual who wants it like regularly. They just don't usually want it that much, which means both people compromising, you know. So just think on it, you know. Don't be in asexual denial. There was a guy who I never said this before. There was a guy who I interviewed for my book who always identified to me as asexual person, a coupé romantic asexual. So someone who wanted to be someone who's romantic. Someone who's not romantic, but who desires a romantic relationship. Coupé romantic's on the aromantic asexual spectrum. So coupé romantic is someone who wants a romantic relationship despite not experiencing romance themselves. And so I knew this person. I interviewed them for my book, but they are not in the book because they decided they weren't asexual after all. And I said to them, do you experience sexual attraction? And they're like, no. And so it's just really weird. And they in the end said, well, I think I will experience that, or might do in the future. So I'm like, okay. But you know what I mean? It's just weird if they don't at that moment. And I mean, he was I think I knew him first of all as aromantic, and then he said he was coupé romantic, or maybe I knew he was coupé romantic, but he's on the aromantic spectrum anyway. But every time I talked to him, he was the only time he was interested in women in the end. And having a relationship, he still wasn't sexually attracted to them. So yeah, I thought that was a bit weird. So, and there's another person who is in the book who decided they're not asexual anymore. Yet they still told me they still don't experience sexual attraction. So they already had they told me that like a year after the book came out. So just fair enough. They might not be asexual actually. I think they might have some other issues going on within themselves and stuff. But even so, they said they didn't, they still don't experience sexual attraction. So I don't, if you don't experience sexual attraction, that's the definition of asexuality, So it's strange. Some people just deny, who they are. I mean, I know one of my friends, it took him ages to come to terms with it. So, and he read my book, and then it changed, and then he knew he was asexual. So, oh yeah, if you haven't got a copy of my Asexual Perspectives book, please do so down below. The links are in the description because it really can help you, because there's a lot of myths. This is what the book looks like, just in case you don't know. There's a lot of myths with asexuals, There's a lot of myths that, if you experience arousal, you can't be asexual. Well, with asexuals, for example, myself, I experience arousal, but it's not aimed at anyone. I can be aroused without thinking of anyone, without watching anything, just in my own body. And so, it is weird if you're an asexual who experiences arousal but no sexual attraction. But that's what happened with me years ago. I thought I was heterosexual for a long time, like years of my life, right? Till 2014. Because I have arousal. Like if I'm kissing, I get aroused, but I can get aroused without kissing anyone or thinking of anyone, just in my own body from the word aroused or thinking about kissing, even though I'm not thinking about kissing anyone, but no one, I'm just thinking of the kissing, because kissing is very arousing feeling for me, and so if you experience arousal, but it's not aimed at anyone, then that's okay. Obviously, if you're aroused because you're sexually attracted to someone, then you wouldn't be asexual. If you're aroused and then think, oh, I wouldn't mind having sex with that person, do you know what I mean? It's different. But again, there's myths and stereotypes. Like there's one that is like, oh, I masturbate, so I can't be asexual. Well, you can still be asexual. It depends. If you're masturbating and then I don't know, if you're sexually attracted to someone and then you're masturbating over them because you're sexually attracted to them, then you wouldn't be asexual because you're sexually attracted to them, right? The whole point is you're sexually attracted to someone. So asexuality, full definition, is the lack of sexual attraction and or little to no interest in sexual activity. Obviously, if you don't experience sexual attraction and you've no interest in sexual activity whatsoever, then you'd be asexual. Do you know what I mean? But obviously some people have got disabilities as well that prevents them having sex. But if they still get the need, urge, or want to have sex, they just wish they could have it but can't have it, then they wouldn't be asexual. They just have a disability that stopped them having sex. Same as if someone was impotent and they couldn't have sex because if they're a man, they couldn't get their penis up, basically. If they're a woman, women can have that problems as well like that. So, that's a physical problem that's preventing you having sex. But if you could have, for example, if you're a guy have an erection, you could have an erection, but you just can't because you're impotent, then, and you'd have sex if you could, but just that's preventing you having it. That's not asexual. You're still wanting sex with other people. Do you know what I mean? Therefore, you're not asexual. So I think it's very important to notice the difference, Sexual attraction is when you get the need, urge, or want for sex with someone. Like if I'm kissing a guy really intimately and passionately, I still never want sex with him. My body and my mind's never like, oh, I want sex with you. It just isn't. It's just really, it's very hard to describe because there's some people who think that if you get aroused, then you're not asexual. But I know from personal experience, I'm 100% asexual in the sense that I don't experience sexual attraction. But yes, I do define myself as having grey areas, but I still don't experience sexual attraction. So I'm not actually a grey asexual in textbook definitions. Because a grey asexual is someone who experiences sexual attraction under limited, rare, or specific circumstances, who experiences it, but not enough to want to act on it. But I have none of that. I'm a heteromantic, but just with the grey area of the arousal, with the kissing, you know, and my behaviour when I'm kissing can be very sexual. And that's quite weird, you know, it's weird to admit that. It's weird to say it because it's like, kind of like, they don't go, do they? Like a lack of sexual attraction, but the fact that I like kissing passionately. But it's with my clothes on though, really. I don't really like taking my clothes off, which again, you know, is kind of an asexual thing, I think. You know, and a personal preference as well, because lots of asexuals still don't mind being naked. But you know, some asexuals that they will touch as well because they're sensual asexuals, you know, so you know, you've really got to think about it, you know. I don't want this video of people going, oh yeah, well, I've been in denial and really I am asexual, when they're not. I want this video to reach people who actually resonate a lot with my videos, who are constantly agreeing with what I say, who don't want sex with people, who are not interested in sexual activity, who don't like people's hands all over their body, who don't like being touched and stuff. I want this video to reach you and for you finally to think, well, maybe I am asexual. I'm not interested in sex with anyone. Doesn't interest me at all. I'm not interested in doing sexual activities with people. I don't want people's hands all over my body. I'm not interested in sexual contact. You know, that's what this video is for. You people who, you know you're different, know you're not the same as everyone else, but you don't want to put yourself as asexual because you're scared to witness about it. You know, you're scared of what people think, of how this is going to impact your life and change it. But you need to accept who you are. You know, you need to accept that you're asexual and stop denying it to yourself. Because if you deny it to yourself, you're denying yourself the beautiful gift of being different. No one on this planet's the same as everyone else. We're all born differently. It's kind of logical if you think about it. Not everyone's going to like sex because there's no one in the world that likes absolutely everything the same as everyone else. Do you know what I mean? And it's quite logical to me when people are born that no one's really popping out of the womb going, hey, let's have sex now. It's quite logical to me that, you know, probably people are born asexual, don't realise it, and then as their hormones get on, when they reach their teenagers, that's when the hormones develop, their body changes into becoming a sexual person the majority of the time, you know. And I think some of the people, this is not scientific evidence, by the way, this is my own theory from my brain. You know, it's like, well, you know, some people stay as they were born in the asexual form, whereas the majority of people change. Do you see what I'm saying? That's my nice theory for myself, and I just thought I'd share and put out there to the world, you know? That people, you know, when they get the hormones out, they just change, and the majority go heterosexual. Not all of them, though. But, you know, because they've got it all backwards, I believe. You know, when they're saying, oh, you've got a hormone deficiency, that's what they say to asexuals a lot of time. Oh, you've got a hormone deficiency, you've got a problem. Actually, I think it's the opposite. I think everyone's probably born asexual because no one pops out the womb saying, hey, let's have sex now. And I think as the hormones develop and the body changes, they get hormones to make them sexual the majority of time. And so actually, I think the opposite is true of what the majority believe. I don't think it's a hormone imbalance with asexuals. I think it's actually hormones that changes people into becoming sexuals. So who's actually the imbalanced one? It's a very good question, isn't it? Who is actually the imbalanced one? It means these hormones have come along and changed that person's body, changed their way they chemically react to other people. And it means the hormones have changed them, that their hormones are no longer in the state or balance they originally were, but in actual fact have changed the course of history for them and turned them into a sexual person. Therefore, like I said, I think everyone's got it wrong in society who thinks that way. That in actual fact, asexuals are the one that originally was the base of sexuality, and that over time people have developed and changed into sexuals. with the hormones that come with it. So it's not that us that are imbalanced, it's just we haven't got those hormones, or those hormones haven't taken effect like they have with other people. We have remained to our original origin, which was asexual in the first place. That is my wild and crazy theory, but I think it's actually true, if I'm honest. I really do. And I think that's probably why there's so many different asexuals, because as we have hormones and stuff and body changes and we have conditioning as well, I think we're influenced by a lot of factors. And I think that's why there's different asexuals. There's one that's like me that do get aroused, you know. There's ones like, you know, because obviously I do get aroused. I must have hormones that make me aroused. Yeah, I don't have hormones that make me want to act on sex. Or I don't have thinking or belief or attitudes. I don't think it's just hormonal. I think wanting sex is a very mindset thing as well, and attitude and belief. I don't think it's just physical. But overall, you know, a sexual attraction is a need, urge, want for partner sexual intercourse. And that does come from a place usually of physicality. But I also think, you know, it's to do with the mind as well. I really do. You know, like, I think that's a big difference with asexuals. I think with asexuals, however much, like, for example, I get aroused, I never think I want sex. The only time I'd ever think about having sex is to please the other person, which I used to do in the past, because I don't need it, I don't want it, I don't have to have it. And I don't want to do that again in my life. But if I ever did, it would be because I would think I was with a sexual person and they wanted that, and I'm really not bothered. Do you know what I mean? I think it's very difficult for asexuals that are in relationships with sexuals, because I think there is a pressure on there. Even if the sexual person's not asking for sex, I think there's still always in the back of your mind the fact that, are you pleasing them enough in the physicality sense? Are you, are they, you know, are they going to stick around? But I think, you know, if you're worried about them sticking around, then really they're no good for you anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not right. You need to be able to trust that they can go without sex if they say they can. You know. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful in some way. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said, don't forget to check out Aven, AVEN Wiki, WIKI, to see whether you are asexual or not, give you some idea. Asexuality.org as well. And of course, you can watch previous videos. There's a lot of definitions of different types of asexuals, especially in the 2015 to 2016, when I first began these videos. There's lots of different terms that I explain to you, like heteromantic, homoromantic, biromantic, panromantic, all those types of terms. And you know, if you go to my asexualized.com, that's a site with a blog that talks about asexuality quite a lot. You can also sign up to my newsletter there. So there's quite a lot of places that you can find out about asexuality. If you want me to do any more videos on anything you're not sure about asexuality, please write them in the comments below and I will do another video on them. I'm happy to. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. So if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you're enjoying the content. As always, embrace your quirky, and I will see you on the next video or live stream. Take care and lots of love. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.